Hello, lovely souls. My name is Jackie, and welcome to the Raven Rabbit Wellness Studio podcast. I'm an enrolled member of the Washoe Tribe of California, Nevada. I have always been deeply connected to the unseen spiritual world since I was a child. I wouldn't say that my spiritual awakening can be pinpointed to one specific date, time, or event, but rather it was a natural unfolding over my lifetime. And I want to share that journey with you to let you know that your spiritual awakening is divinely guided. If you want help with self-worth and self-doubt, then this is the place for you. I took baby steps to change my life and heal from anxiety, depression, and self-doubt. Ultimately, I built Raven Rabbit in my quest to help others like you do the same. I am a metaphysical minister, energy healer, and intuitive coach. In this podcast, I draw on metaphysical principles, I read energy, and I intuitively guide our conversation with the holistic, indigenous, spiritual approach to life, healing, and happiness. Stick around to explore the unseen, navigate metaphysics to live your life to the fullest, be the happiest version of yourself, and to deeply heal from what holds you back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Raven Rabbit Wellness Studio podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Reverend Jackie Cope. I'm so happy that you're here and that you have stumbled across or found my podcast or listen regularly and are a follower. I'm so grateful for those. I'm excited to be here today. Happy May 1st. So even if you're not listening to this on May 1st, it's totally fine. You don't have to worry. But those of you who are listening to this at May 1st or the beginning of May, this is going to be a reading episode. I've been called to do reading episodes. I've just been hesitant in doing them. But I've heard them from other podcasters and I love them. And I know with my deck it's so special. And it's what I do at the beginning of the month for myself. I was like, I need to share that with everyone else. So episode 22 is going to be a May 1st, 2024 reading. With that, I'd like to give our invocation. Dear Creator, please make me a pure, incorruptible channel of loving, healing, divine presence as I speak, and provide me with all the wisdom, protection, guidance that I need. Only allow the divine and healed to be present with us today. So again, welcome to episode 22. I'm so happy you're here. I'm going to be doing a live reading, and this reading is going to be looking into what we should expect or be looking out for during the month of May. With this reading as well, I'm also going to give out an affirmation email. So if you haven't already, definitely subscribe to my emails because you will get access to my spiritual bingo cards, which I'm going to go over because it's May 1st. We got new spiritual bingo to work on. It'll also give you access to just my emails in general. So I'm going to do affirmation emails. So you'll be getting a little bit more in depth, just something in writing over the affirmations that are going to come through from this May reading. So in front of me are oracle cards that I have made myself. These cards, I have just Raven Rabbit on them for now. I've been toying around with the name and what I should call them. What they are is a card to define the reading we're going to get. So, when I do a reading, I technically do two readings. I do a pre-reading. I like to call it the reading before the reading, which is the cards I made. Then I use one of the decks that I've purchased. So, right now I have the Gentle Tarot. That's been the one I've been working with the most over a year now. And it's from an indigenous creator who traveled to Alaska to watercolor these beautiful tarot cards. And they're indigenously made, so I feel more connected to them. My native grandmother, Washoe, she gave me tarot cards when I was little, and I played with them quite often until I got to the point I told you where I kind of rejected that part of me in my older teen years and just wanted to ignore it. But there was a disconnection with traditional tarot for me in general, and that's not something I wanted to pursue. So when I found this indigenous tarot, I absolutely fell in love with it. I could read you the front, so my people who are very much into their tarot, they can kind of understand the difference. So we still have major cards in this. Most of them are the same. I would say almost all of them, but one is different, if I can remember correctly. We still have cups cards. These cup cards are dealing with our emotions, and they're connected to water, similar to traditional tarot. We also have wands cards, but instead of thinking of a wand as a wooden rod or metal rod, these wands are depicted by wheat growing. So it connects to the spirituality and the fire sign. These two differ. So we would typically have pentacles. We have thunder, and it's depicted by a lightning. So thunder is going to deal with mental issues, and air is what it's connected to. It's communication, ideas, morality. Then we also have stones. So physical earth, and it's material, security, physicality, and grounding. So those are how they're laid out. The other difference here on our minor arcana, like the higher up cards, 11, we're going to be talking about a seed card. So we're going to think about the cycle of plants growing. When we come across a seed card, it's the energy, curiosity, adventure, enthusiasm. It's just starting out. Then it goes to a root card, so we're more dedicated. We might be practicing it, putting in the time. It's starting to grow. Then finally we have the flower card, so think of our plant flowering. We have focus, mastery, and internal or external growth. And then finally the last card is harvest. So it's healthy, it's self-aware, it's at the highest point it could be. So those are the types of cards that I have and that I just absolutely adore. I told you it was the Gentle Tarot. I didn't tell you it is by Mary in the Sky. I don't know if she goes by Mary or Mari in the Sky, and it's wonderful. So those are the tarot cards I'll be using for the actual reading. So like I said, 2 readings. The pre-reading and the actual reading. The pre-reading comes from my Raven Rabbit cards that I made myself. They're just printed on cardstock. And we're going to get into what our month is going to look like. So I'm just being called to do a simple 3-card spread for this month. Things that we can expect during the month. So I'm just laying them out in front of me. They're upside down for now. And these are pre-reading. So for pre-reading Raven Rabbit cards, we're going to be focusing on a reading for our higher self. This reading is about what your higher self has been trying to communicate to you. That's going to be a focus this month. Our next one is going to be about the future, what the future holds for you in this month. And our last one is house card. So the foundation you have built, what your life is based on. So this is a really interesting, fun reading for the month of May. We're going to be thinking about our higher self, our future, and our house. And that's where I said the affirmation's going to come if you sign up for my emails. That's going to turn into my affirmation for the month. So let's get out our actual tarot cards here. And this is going to be the actual reading for these. So my Raven Rabbit cards are quite large. I printed them on cardstock and just cut them 4 ways off of a regular 8x10. So they're quite large. They're meant to go underneath your tarot or oracle cards that you have so that you can see what you're reading on. The reason I made those cards because I thought that when I started doing tarot readings, I thought all of the suggestions were so generic. Like, I'm going to do a past, present, future read. They're important, all of these things. I'm just saying generic. I wanted something deeper. I'm going to do a love read. I'm going to do one one of the large traditional reads where it's you in the center and what crosses you, what's above you, what's below you. I'll lay out my cards like that. But the difference between my cards is that we're going to get even deeper. So instead of it just being the layout of what's generally accepted, we're going to get deep into what that looks like for you. So really, when you do a card reading with me, you're getting 2 reads. And it's because the layout is specific to you. So in this case, with my monthly read here that I do for myself that I'm now doing for you, I kind of just lay out, like, what's my month going to look like? I ask real specific. What do I need to focus on this month? Like I said, here's what came out for us. We have higher self, future, and house. So now I'm going to take my tarot here, my gentle tarot cards. I'm going to lay them one on top of higher self, one on top of future, and one on top of house. Those are the cards we are going to have. I'm being called to pull another card, but I don't know where it wants to be. I feel like it's the bottom card. We're going to do this bottom card, and we're going to go off to the side with that, because I was like, you're not done. You are not done. Always listen to your intuition. So this month we're focusing on our higher self, and what is that going to look like? Well, let me flip that card over. It is upside down, and it is the 7 of Thunder. And I love this gentle tarot because upside down doesn't necessarily just have to mean negative. It can mean an abundance of other things, like something you're working on, something that maybe is being blocked, something we need access to get things correct. So for our higher self, we have 7 of Thunder, and on the front of the card, let's just go over what the card looks like. I think it's a lynx. I always want to say bobcat when I pull this card, and that's wrong. Yeah, it's a lynx because we're talking about Alaskan nature. So the art symbolism to our card is we have a lynx, we have 7 shooting lightnings that represent our thunder, and the lynx is, we only see the front half of the lynx and it's looking back over its shoulder. This animal's chosen here because it has high sensitivity and it's very perceptive, which is perfect for our higher self. Our higher self is capable of being highly sensitive, highly intuitive, and very perceptive. So having a lynx there representing our higher self is really important. The lynx, it has the whiskers are prominent in the drawing. It's highly receptive for hearing, and the lynx also has tufts on the ear, and it acts as an extra superpower, and it enhances the hearing. So I really start thinking about our clairs that we have in clair audio. So just being able to connect and listen to your higher self is going to be so important this month. I like to turn the card right side up now at this point so I can feel its messages and where we're being blocked from. So when we think about our lynx with the tufted ears and how well it can listen, and this card was inverted, it was upside down, it means that we could be possibly this month blocking ourselves from listening to our higher selves. Either we don't hear it at all because we have it totally tuned off or are not in tune, or we hear it and we're choosing to ignore it. I don't know which one you could be facing right now, but whichever one it is, we're going to want to focus on that this month. Tuning in to just hear it in general, or tune in and finally choose to listen to it rather than ignore it. You can be super connected to your higher self, but it doesn't matter if you're not listening. You have to also listen to what you're being told from your higher self. A lot of times we know the answers to our situations or issues, and the answers are hard. Sometimes we don't always want to listen to them, and we hope something easier will come along. We hope that it could possibly just be ignored and we don't have to deal with it. But this month, tune into your higher self and make sure you are listening to your higher self. So I like to read the little thing. It's just the bold for this card. Just a little synopsis. This card is, I am vigilant of disruptions that approach my path. I summon clarity of mind and support myself with love and healthy boundaries. So this card was inverted. It was upside down. So basically with our higher self, we're not being vigilant to those disruptions. We don't know the things that are approaching our path. We might not have that clarity of mind that we need, and we are not supporting ourselves with love and healthy boundaries. So it's very important this month to focus on those things. Be vigilant of your surroundings this month. In protection of your higher self. We're thinking about our higher self. And also with your higher self, make sure that you are supporting your higher self with love and healthy boundaries. So to me, with the boundaries and higher self is taking that time to meditate, not just, I'm so busy and I don't have time to do that mentality. I can't meditate. That's not protecting your boundary and your time with your higher self. So she has on here in her little notes about it being reversed, and that's the word reverse, not upside down, reversed. And first thing off the bat is no judgment here. This is simply a check-in. That's why I love this Gentle Tarot. It's not the end of the world. We have the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of life all the time. They're going to come and go. And with this, it teaches us what we can do about it. So take the time and space you need to be direct with yourself. And in our case, we're thinking about being direct with our higher self. Have you been dishonest with your higher self? Or any other aspects of yourself? Are you hiding your truth? Sometimes we allow fear to take the reins, but ultimately we are denying our own powerful flame and allowing someone else's story to lead us. That's so perfect for higher self. Someone else's story to lead us. We might clamor on to gurus or people who seem extremely spiritual or higher up, when that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We can look to those people for inspiration, clarity, understanding, but we're not putting these people on a pedestal. We always need to come back to our higher self. Take a moment to gauge your honesty with yourself, your higher self, and how you connect with others when you're connected to your higher self. Turn within and patiently and lovingly forgive yourself. Your fire is ever ready and always there for you. So, beautiful. Month of May, focus on healing your higher self. Next card here, we are going to talk about the future. The future is an important aspect for May. And the card pulled up here is 9 of Wands. And just to go over, again, the visual representation, I think we have another lynx. I have a pattern going on here. That might be our animal this month. Yep, a lynx. So there is growing, I would call it wheat. Let's be sure here, because she was in Alaska when she drew these. They're the wands. It's just supposed to be natural environment, but they look like wheats. They just look like tall. They kind of look lavendery too. But there's 9 pieces of plant shooting up from the ground as natural growth. And then we have a lynx crouched down behind all of it, hiding. There's a crescent moon in the background. It's dark. The stars are out. And again, connecting to that lynx power. A lynx has incredible focus, determination, and that's the essence of the 9 of Wands. As the lynx crouches low, using the natural environment for protection and support in their camouflage. The ground on this card is a 2-color rainbow. One color is matching the crescent moon. It's like an orange. And it represents how we can find connection and support through the earth and cosmic bodies. And the other color is a little yellow. And it's just showing that connection to home. And the yellow matches the lynx's eyes. So, Nine of Wands, it's upright. Although this path is long and winding, my focus remains clear. So your future, when we're thinking about your future in this aspect, your future needs to remain clear for you. You need to know what you are going after, define it, and stay true to it. And I liked that the past reading over here, the lynx, the higher self connection was the reverse, because that means we're not listening to our higher self. Once we listen to our higher selves, we get a very clear vision of our future and what it is supposed to look like, how our higher self would communicate the future to us. So, I love when the cards are connecting. 2 cards are links. Get to know your higher self. Your future will unfold in front of you. Let me just look at the book here. So we have upright. The Knight of Wands brings us a good moment to recalibrate where we are on our path towards wholeness. It's a perfect connection to the future. Maybe you in the past had an idea of what your future would be, and that has completely crumbled and has gone away, and you need time to recalibrate and listen to your higher self and understand what your new future holds for you. How is your focus in this time? Definitely working on your focus in the month of May. Are you focused? Are you distracted? Is your sacred space protected and healthy? And if you don't have a sacred space, I definitely highly recommend you making one. I've shared many of times. Mine's just at the end of my bed. I have my rocks in my rooms. It's quiet. I could sit at the little ottoman thing there and just be in my space. Are you feeling aligned with your present path? So it's a great time this month to be really looking at that. And we just had spring equinox in March. So going back and making sure you feel aligned with your present path is really important. May could be the time where many of us could have set intentions or manifestations at January 1st. And those things can start slipping away from us at this point. So something to deeply think about. I love that for us. Okay, so last card to focus on for the month of May is your house. It's a house card. Think about where you live. It doesn't necessarily have to be a house. It's just what I wrote on the card. Just where you put your head at night. So, the house card is the foundation you have built. What your life is based on. The card I have for here is 5 of Thunder. So again, connecting back to that thunder. So we have 2 cards now that are connected to our thunder. And again, thunder is that mental, your communication, your ideas, your morality. So this month has a big theme towards your mental capacity. Okay, so our foundation is built on the 5 of Thunder. It is okay to stop and choose a different path. I honor my being by listening. So again, this card is super connected. Like I was talking about with the future card, you may have to sit down and recalibrate, like that section said. You may have to recalibrate what your future is going to look like. And if you're going to recalibrate what your future is going to look like, the foundation in which you build it on might have to take a different path. And I honor my being by listening, which goes back to our first card. Are you listening to your higher self to be making that correct foundation of who you are and your morality and how you connect in the world? So striving to climb to the top of the ridge, you realize that reaching the peak is not actually something that you really need. We have a fox depicted here who's climbing a mountain. He's holding a lightning rod, which depicts our thunder. 3 are at the top of the mountain. 1 is in a human hand. 1 is in the fox's mouth. Fox friend helps take the lightning bolt offering to the top, so we can rely on the fox to help us out. Too often we push ourselves too hard and too long. We might see in relationships or that are interpersonal or professional. when we know we should leave. We dedicate ourselves to things that ultimately don't serve our purpose and don't spark our fire. So that goes perfect. Your higher self might be telling you what to do. And then if you're not actively listening to it, you could be committing yourself to something that's not aligned with your path, your future, your foundation. So please take a moment to stop and feel. Does it feel better to stop where you are? No need to climb to the tippity top of the mountain. Maybe you're fine where you are, and your path has other plans for you and another destination. So just to show it, like I told you, there's a human, there's a fox. The fox is climbing this mountain. There's a crescent moon. It's nighttime. And those are the depiction. The point of the fox is to highlight and explain the spiritual support that's available to all of us, each and every single one of us. The human depicted here is nude, so nudity is symbolic of emotional and heart space, that rawness, that true wholesome listening, like just getting raw and real. So are you really listening to your authentic higher self as you should be this month? The lightning bolts symbolize the actual conflict you are grappling with, and they also represent the steps it takes internally to accept where you are with your mind. So this card was reversed, and it's asking, have you been pushing yourself for too hard for too long? Refer to the questions in the upright section. So the questions here are, what have you been pushing for? What have you been struggling with? Where are your mind, body, and spirit at with that situation? Are they in balance or out of balance? Does the struggle feed your spark and your truth? Or does it hinder your spirit? How is your mind handling the situation? Really important. Is it an ego trip? So, very important. Alternatively, is there a former conflict in your life that has not been fully processed? Even if situations have changed, it most often takes time for feelings or trauma to surface. Because sometimes we're so good at suppressing, we don't fully process everything we need to. So, grief for what was lost or for what never happened can visit us at any time. So it goes back to that recalibrating. So you thought maybe your future looked a certain way, and it's turning out to not be that way, and we have to recalibrate. Well, we also have to go through the grief process of realizing that's not what was in store for us. That wasn't what's going to happen. And we might have been so committed and connected to that idea of what the future was that we need to grieve that. We can't just we do need to keep moving forward, but we can't just plow forward. We have to sensitively and consciously move forward and grieve what we might have not happened. So, I love it this month. We have very clear homework to me that's happening this month. We need to focus on our higher self, and that comes back to our Link's ability to listen. Are you listening to your higher self? We are going to focus on the future this month, and the future is going to be aided by whether we're listening to our higher self or not. And with those two things in mind, we need to be analyzing our house, our foundation. And that comes in, are we leaning on our spiritual support systems to help us get there, to build the foundation properly by listening to our higher self and our spirit guides. Like I said, I feel another card pulling towards me, so this is just an extra here that I wanted to do. It was at the bottom. Oh, and it's a major arcana card. It is the Wheel of Fortune. I think that this is the one that might be different. Let me check the book here. I have this one as you can buy stickers of these, and I have this sticker on my laptop. So I'm reminded of it often. The Wheel of Fortune. Here it is. I am open to receiving positive experiences and I am worthy of good fortune. I love that this is just one that wanted to pop out because a lot of this stuff for our month of May is really, really heavy. Are you connecting to your higher self? What's your future look like? How's your foundation look? That's all heavy work to work on. But this card is reminding us that you're open to receiving those positive experiences and you're worthy of good fortune. Just to give you a little background of what the card looks like, it's at night, there's stars, there's a wreath of flowers circling around the top with two hands that are open like it's falling from the sky and you're going to receive it. Embrace the moment of May. Let the gifts of the universe rain down upon you. Without fear, you can receive those things and those gifts and know that you're on the right path. Even if you're trying to define your future and your foundation, taking that time to do that hard work, you're on the right path. The Wheel of Fortune reminds us that there are no coincidences. Every connection is part of a larger web, all spokes of this divine wheel, each moment dependent on another moment. So, our higher self, future, and foundation is all dependent on us taking the time to consciously think about how we want it to look, how it's defined. And even though that can be hard work for us and tackling those things might feel dark, it's all a part of the divine wheel. This brings me to my bingo card, the other part of this. It says, every moment is the opportunity for a new beginning, a shedding, and a birth. Which takes me to what I wanted to tell you about our spiritual bingo this month. So, just know from our reading that you are divinely guided. You absolutely are open to receiving positive experiences and are worthy of a good fortune. So, with Rebirth, our monthly bingo of May, the tasks that are associated with your monthly bingo are ones that will focus on a fresh rebirth and discovering your life's purpose. So all of these cards that I just pulled really go along with defining your life's purpose or your soul's purpose. You need to listen to your higher self, think about your future, think about your foundation, and know that you're worthy of receiving abundance and joy. So I have 24 things for you to work on this month. When you go to my website and sign up for my emails, you'll get access to the May spiritual bingo. And there's all kinds of fun things on here to just focus on a restart. Sometimes we need that in spring. We have meditate outside under the light of the full flower moon. Plant seeds for a new beginning. Take a nature walk. I'm just kind of reading them shortly. They're a little longer. Create a vision board. Maybe you do need to recalibrate from this reading that you just heard. Creating a vision board can really help with that. If there's butterflies around you, spend time with butterflies and just meditate with them. Declutter your living space to invite in fresh energy. Let go of the old. Connect with a mentor or spiritual guide. You can do that in person, like one-on-one, or you can do that like through just listening to a podcast like this or following other spiritual leaders. Write a letter to your future self about your dreams and aspirations. That's a great one for dealing with this future card that came through today. So again, there's 24 different activities to do on your spiritual bingo card. I made the spiritual bingo because it's good for whether you are brand new to spirituality and you have no idea what to do, or you've been doing spirituality for so long that you kind of just need a refresher. Like, I need something exciting to do, change it up. I do the same thing all the time. So it's really meant for anybody and everybody. And when you go through your spiritual bingo, if you feel called to share, I definitely would love if you could tag Raven Rabbit LLC So you can share that with us if you feel called to do that. I'd love to see what you're working on this month. I know for me, I definitely need a rebirth and discovering my life purpose. I always felt like I was very strong in my life's purpose, but since having brain tumor surgery, I think there's some reevaluation that's needed. I've already been doing it, but to sit down and really consciously work on that is very important. So that is the month of May reading for you. Make sure you're focusing on your higher self, your future, and your house. Make sure you remember the Wheel of Fortune that you are able to receive and you're open to receiving. Please go sign up for my subscription email so that you can get access to this spiritual bingo and really start working on these important spiritual aspects. I'm so happy you're here. I hope you have a wonderful month of May, and I'll get to talk to you next time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Expand the life, healing, and happiness of others in your field by sharing this episode. You can get more of my content and other helpful tips by following Raven Rabbit LLC on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be sure to comment on Spotify and answer the episode's question so I can keep creating content you love and desire. Thank you so much.